Hey, Dr. D here. In this video, I'm going to share 12 signs of gaslighting. But first, don't forget to give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. I'd love to hear from you. But let's dive right in. Gaslighting is a form of psychological and emotional manipulation that causes the victim to question their thoughts, feelings, judgment, memories, and sanity. The perpetrator seeks to try and manipulate you and present their thoughts and feelings as truth. Here are a few examples that gaslighters will say to you. I'm sorry you feel that way. You're the only person I have problems with. You're being overly sensitive. You are crazy. I never said that. And you need help. Now, a gaslighter will manipulate you by starting to suggest to you that you have become unreliable. They may say you become mentally unstable and unpredictable. They begin to break down the trust you have in yourself. You question your sense of reality. You begin to rely on your partner more and more for your memory to recall memories or make decisions. You start to question your judgment. You start to think, could my partner be right? Could I be imagining things incorrectly? They attempt to convince you that you are remembering or misinterpreting events incorrectly. Now, this is a cycle that can become increasingly toxic and abusive. The emotional damage they cause is very destructive. Your self-esteem takes a dive, you don't trust yourself, you're looking for proof that you are not going crazy. And you spend a lot of time doing this. It's exhausting. Here are 12 signs of gaslighting that you should be aware of. They tell blatant lies. Their lies are there to manipulate you to gain control. They create a web of lies that leave you questioning what is going on. So you have to ask, do they lie to you often? Does their story add up? They deny. They will not take responsibility for their actions. They will forget what happened and then blame you for their behaviors. They use countering. They question your memory. They ask things like, are you sure? Or I think you're remembering things incorrectly. They will deny the event occurred, or they will pretend to forget what actually happened. They do this even if you have evidence. They withhold. They pretend they do not understand the conversation or refuse to listen, so you begin to doubt yourself. They say things like, I don't know what you're talking about, or you're confusing me. They make you lose your sense of self. You wonder what is wrong with you. You become afraid to share experiences sometimes with family or friends because you doubt your reality so much, and you also think they might believe your partner. You distrust yourself and rely on others to make decisions for you. They divert. They divert the attention to something else or question someone's credibility. Like, that is nonsense what you read, or where'd you read that anyway? Are you sure? They trivialize. They belittle or disregard how you feel. They tell you that you are too sensitive and you shouldn't feel that way. You're overreacting to what is actually valid concerns. And they would tell you that other people wouldn't be reacting the same way. They make you doubt reality. You look for times that they didn't treat you this way, feeling like you are too sensitive or that how they are treating you isn't that bad. You question your experiences and what you believe is real. You question yourself. They cut you off. They cut you off from your family and friends, making you feel more powerless and helpless. You feel alone and isolated from others. They blame shift. They shift the blame by twisting the conversation, so you end up feeling like you're responsible for their behavior. For example, they may say, if you didn't do, then I wouldn't have done. So then when you stop and think about it, you might think, well, I did do that, so maybe I am to blame. They use distraction. They change the subject by asking another unrelated question, but never answer your question or the current issue. They make you feel stupid. And finally, they use the silent treatment. They use the silent treatment to punish you when you displease them. And you never know when you're able to speak to them again. They control the situation, and you're left in the dark. Now, here are 8 ways you can deal with gaslighting, but first, make sure it's true gaslighting. When they offer a different opinion than yours, or they may say something like, you're being a little bit too sensitive or overreacting, that's not necessarily gaslighting unless it's part of a pattern that's become pervasive and a form of manipulation. 1. Use clear communication. Choose a time to speak to your partner when both of you are in a good place mentally and emotionally and not stressed. Don't tell them what they're doing wrong, but explain the situation, sharing the problem, and your participation, and then also how they make you feel. And then open up the dialogue. Be calm and assertive. Don't be afraid to speak up to them or others. 2. Keep the evidence. It's important to not only recognize the gaslighting behaviors, but also keep the evidence. Get a journal, save text messages and emails, so that when you begin to doubt yourself, you have the evidence right there. 3. Rally your team of support. It's important to have other people in your life that are supportive, that will help you gain a different perspective and not make you feel like you're going crazy like they're telling you are. You need a strong support system to also help you decide what your next steps are. 4. Gain some distance. When emotions are intense and heightened, we don't always react the way we want to. It can also evoke more gaslighting behaviors. So, take a step back, walk outside, do something that creates distance to help you relax. 5, set healthy boundaries. It's helpful to set limits on the gaslighting and let your partner know they cannot get away with their behaviors, and you see what they are doing. This allows you to set limitations on their abusive behaviors. 6, trust your gut. We all that sixth sense, that gut reaction that over time we can lose because we're caught up in the abuse cycle. Quiet your mind and take the time to listen to what your inner self is saying to you. You will recognize this feeling. 7, seek professional help from a therapist. A therapist provides a safe space to talk about your thoughts and feelings, asks you questions, and provides the skills and strategies you need to address the issue in ways that are healthy. And 8, consider leaving the relationship. Unless your partner is willing to make the changes and have insight to the behaviors, things probably won't change. The relationship is unhealthy, imbalanced, toxic, and can become abusive. You need to seriously consider how they make you feel and if you believe staying is the best choice for you. You really cannot stop the gaslighting in a relationship because it's a form of emotional abuse and manipulation. The only way to end the gaslighting is for the perpetrator to admit and accept their behaviors and own their truths. And if not, things will not change. These situations rarely get better. The only thing you do have control over is whether or not you choose to stay in the relationship. You have to learn to put your health, emotional well-being, and integrity first. You are that important. That's it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you.